what the black man and woman needs to know about the nation, about the world, about themselves. Muhammad Speaks It. To order your 12-issue subscription to Muhammad Speaks newspaper, 313-371-7033. 313-371-7033. Kareem Bean Pie is the grand champion of all bean pies. The rich flavor and smooth texture takes this pie to a whole new level of delicious. One bite and you'll understand why people all over the country call daily to order Kareem Bean Pie. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033. Kareem Bean Pie.
This bean pie is delicious.
Muhammad Speaks presents Messenger Elijah Muhammad's Teachings by Minister Khalil Shabazz every Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. at Muhammad's Temple of Islam, 12609 East McNichols Road in Detroit.
Brothers and sisters, we rise for prayer. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Soul Master's dead gentlemen in which we now live, the alone that we serve and the alone seek for thine help and aid. O Allah, please guide us on the right path, path of those upon whom thou bestow thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after they heard thy teachings. Say he, Allah is one God. Allah is he of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is he begotten, there is none like him. And I bear witness that none is heard to be served, worship, or praise besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is thy true servant and last apostle. Ameen. We'd like to acknowledge the brothers and sisters that extended us the greetings of Assalamu alaikum. We have Brother Muhammad Abdul Rashid from Florida, and we have Sister Miriam Omar from Oklahoma. I'd like to say in the name of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, and in the name of his last and greatest messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, I'd like to greet the brothers and sisters with the Nation of Islam's greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum. Today we'd like to talk about Ciara's nakedness is the white woman's fault. Because this week, Ciara wore a dress that was out of control. She had on a see-through dress, and she was naked under the dress. So, in this, the new school stuff, because I don't really get upset about what non-Muslims say. I don't like how Muslims are today, because we don't, as they say, blame the white man no more. We blame Ciara like it's her fault. I like that blame the white man Islam. All praise is due to Allah. I'm gonna keep it real. I like the blame the white man Islam of the messenger. Yes, sir. I like that. Yes, so we gonna blame the white man today. All right, now. So this article comes from the November 29th, 1968, Muhammad Speaks. And this is Islam in Tuskegee by Sister Anna Kareem. And we starting in the middle of the article. She says, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he teaches us that by nature, we as the black original people of the earth are righteous. Now that's number one, with the blaming the white man Islam of the messenger. Because every time the messenger taught us, he always got to the root of the problem. He never blamed the black woman for wearing miniskirts or being half naked. What he would always do is start off with the root of the problem. Is to get us to understand the nature of both peoples. So Sister Anna Kareem, the first thing she says, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he teaches us by nature, we as the black original people of the earth are righteous. She says, surely there is nothing righteous about exposing one's body to the view of the public. Yet, when one lacks a knowledge of self, he also lacks the insight necessary for understanding his own nature. So that's number 2. With the blaming the white man Islam of the message. Because this hypocrite Lewis, that's another thing. I like talking about Lewis. Because I had a brother last week. He told me I shouldn't talk about Lewis. Because he said that his followers love him. And by me talking about Lewis, that causes us to be enemies with them. And they really are brothers. I ain't going for that. The messenger told us to strive hard against the hypocrites and the disbelievers. Praise due to Allah. And what he also taught us, he said the sympathizers with the hypocrites, they don't want to say nothing either way. Because it will expose their love for the hypocrite. Right. So that's why I talk about this hypocrite Louis Farrakhan so often. Because another reason, in the February 24th, 1969 Chicago Tribune, before Savior's Day, the Supreme Captain Raymond Sharif was talking about that hypocrite Malcolm X. He said Malcolm X, not only is this hypocrite Malcolm X our enemy, he said the sympathizers with his cause are our enemies too.
Yes, sir.
That's the messenger's Islam.
That's right.
That's that blame the white man Islam.
Yes, sir.
That's that how can you be friends with our enemies and say you friends with us? So, when Malcolm X was dead, for 4 years, not only was they still talking about this hypocrite, they was letting it be known not only is this dead hypocrite our enemy, but those who sympathize with this hypocrite's cause is our enemies too.
Yes, sir.
That's Islam.
That's right.
That's how the messenger taught us Islam. So we talk about this hypocrite, Louis Farrakhan. Praise due to Allah. Because he is the reason why we don't have that blame the white man Islam no more. Because this hypocrite is the one who did to the nation of Islam what the white man did to Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben. Originally, Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben represented slaves. They were slaves. But the white man gave Aunt Jemima a makeover. So now when we look at Aunt Jemima, we forget about the fact that Aunt Jemima is a slave.
Right.
Uncle Ben is a slave.
Right.
So that's what this hypocrite has done to the teachings of the message.
Right.
He has given it a makeover. So now the white man is our friend. Now you have good devils. Now the black man is consciously choosing to do evil. But when you look at Marjorie Hassan or Anna Kareem, she says, surely there is nothing righteous about exposing one's body to the view of the public. Yet, when one lacks a knowledge of self, he also lacks the insight necessary for understanding his own nature. Thus, the nature and ways of others become dominating factors in your life. So when we see Ciara dressing up half naked, yes, it's very appalling. It's very uncivilized for this sister to be dressed up half naked. But we Muslims who believe in the teachings of the messenger, we understand that Ciara she is blind to the knowledge of self.
Yes.
Because the messenger told us that the greatest crime has been committed against us, and that is to rob a person of the knowledge of self.
Yes.
Because he said when you rob a person of the knowledge of self, he said they become like that blind man who when he crossed the street, he depended on a cane or he depended on somebody to help him to cross the street. He's not able to cross the street on his own. He become a dependent person on others. So the black man, who was robbed of the knowledge of self, Sister Anna Kareem says, when one lacks a knowledge of self, he also lacks the insight necessary for understanding his own nature. Thus, the nature and ways of others become dominating factors in your life. She says, so it is with the black woman. She has no knowledge of herself and has seen fit to adopt the standards of a people, the white race, who have never commanded the respect of any civilized nation on earth. So once again, this is how we blame the white man.
Right.
Because she says she adopts. What does it mean to adopt? Adopt means to take an opinion, policy, or practice as one's own.
Yes.
That's what it means to adopt. So us knowing the nature of the black man, knowing that we're righteous by nature, then we see Ciara dressing up half naked. We understand that she does not have the knowledge of herself.
That's right.
So because she's been robbed of the knowledge of self, then she adopts the practices, the policies, and the opinions as if they are her own.
Yes, sir.
But we understand that they're not her own.
Right.
They are the practices of the white race. Praise be to Allah. So in this blame the white man, Islam of the messenger. The messenger told us that the white woman is a two-legged dog.
Yes.
That's the Islam we don't talk about in this hypocrite's Islam. When was the last time you heard a person call the white woman a two-legged dog? The messenger told us in the Bible. He says all of the evil and filthy names in the Bible are names for the white race.
That's right.
In the Bible, it calls them the great whore.
That's right.
Not just an ordinary whore. Not an average run-of-the-mill whore, but the great whore.
Yes.
Who all of the nations commit fornication with the great whore. That's the white woman.
That's her.
When was the last time you heard some Muslims talk about that? When was the last time you heard some Muslims talk about the history of the white woman in the caves and hillsides of Europe? Where the messenger told us that they walked on their all fours like any other animal, and they lost the knowledge of themselves. The messenger taught us, he said, that's where the white woman befriended the dog. I never understood so much about the white woman's relationship to the dog until I came in the Nation of Islam. I never knew. That's where I found out that oral sodomy, because that's the filth and indecency that's loved to be practiced in the white man's world. I didn't know that came from the history of the white woman with the dog.
Yes, sir.
Praise due to Allah. Oral sodomy. Ain't no sodomy. All of that is the filth and indecency that the white woman picked up in her 2,000 years in the caves and hillsides of Europe. So the messenger told us that the Bible calls the white race the beast.
Yes.
You have beasts that are four-legged animals. So he told us that the white woman is a two-legged dog.
Yes.
She's a two-legged dog. The messenger told us when they get wet, they smell like dog.
They do.
That's the teachings of the messenger.
Yes.
That's why the white race says the dog is man's best friend. That's him talking about himself. Because when the white man was in the caves and hillsides of Europe, the dog was the only thing that could get along with the white man. That's the kind of beast that he is. His best friend is a dog. He didn't say a woman is his best. He said that the dog is man's best friend. So the messenger taught us about the dog worshipers.
Yes.
The dog worshipers are the white race. So we understand by being followers of the messenger and loving that blaming the white man Islam, because we not really blaming the white. That's what they call it. And I don't have a problem with that type. If that's what they call it, that's all right with me. If that's how they feel, then we blaming the white man.
Right.
So us understanding the natures of the two people, plus we understand the history of the two people, we understand where nakedness comes from. Because the messenger taught us that the white woman is shyless.
Yes.
This was a article in the Muhammad Speaks newspaper, or a cartoon or a picture that the messenger had in his article every week.
Yes.
Sometimes he would have the filth and the disgrace. Sometimes he would have the shyless and the disgrace.
Right.
Sometimes it would be the filth and the filth. But the one thing that we need to understand is why the messenger says that the white woman is shyless and the black woman is a disgrace. What does disgrace mean? Disgrace means loss of reputation or respect as a result of a dishonorable act. That's what it means to be a disgrace. Because the messenger never put the blame on the black woman.
Right.
But he says that the white woman is shyless.
Yes.
Because the black woman is actually following after the white woman,
That's right.
who is by nature shyless. So the white woman by nature is a half-naked woman.
Good teacher, brother.
All praise is due to Allah. Because the messenger told us once upon a time, all of Europe was a nudist colony. I remember when I was in the Navy. This was before I had the knowledge of myself. We went to Spain. So they told us as soon as we pulled into Spain, they say, you know they got nude beaches in Spain. I'm like, where everybody naked? That was something crazy to me, like everybody on the beach naked. So me being blind, deaf, and dumb, me and some of my boys, we went to the nude beach. And the thing about, and I can bear witness, the thing about even when you blind, deaf, and dumb, it still don't feel right.
That's right.
Now when we on the boat, we thinking we about to go to a nude beach. So we gets to the nude beach, and it's nothing like you think. It's all kinds of people. See, we in our mind thinking it's just gonna be the beautiful women. You got old men, old women. You got all kinds of fat people. Just, it was like, what? At the nude beach. So soon as we got there, it didn't feel right. Like, how can all of these people just be so comfortable being naked? Because we wasn't naked. We had on our shorts and stuff. But they was naked. For real. Walking around with no towel, old white women walking past you like there's nothing going on. That's the white race. Messenger told us all of Europe was a nudist colony. So the white woman and the white man are shyless by nature.
Yes.
So the messenger Anna Kareem goes on. She says, so it is with the black woman. She has no knowledge of herself and has seen fit to adopt the standards of a people, the white race, who have never commanded the respect of any civilized nation on the earth. She says everywhere the white man has gone, He has corrupted the moral standards of the people, especially their women. Now we're going to take a pause for the cause, because we have Sister Shahrazad's book called The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. She has an entire chapter that talks about a black woman and the way she dressed. Nowhere in it is she talking about the white woman. But she has on the back of her book, it says, why to give black women one last chance before dating a white woman. And that's why I say Sister Shahrazad is a snake.
Yes.
That's all she is.
Yes.
Because Sister Anna Kareem, and this is another reason why the messenger was called the Master Reformer.
Yes.
Shahrazad is not a master reformer, nor is that hypocrite Louis Farrakhan. Because all they do is take the messenger's teachings and commercialize them. All Shahrazad wants to do is sell books. She want to become a big eye. She fake like she against Louis, but she want to be the female version of Louis Farrakhan. Praise due to Allah. She wants to be a big eye. So when she talks about the black woman, she never puts it on the white woman. Because the white woman is the one who is silenced by nature. The white woman is the one who has a history of destroying the morals of whole nations of people.
That's right.
The black woman don't have a history like that. The black woman is the queen mother of civilization. She is the one who all women in civilization modeled themselves after.
Yes.
Even in our wickedness, even in our foolishness, even as us being blind, deaf, and dumb. The white women who are civilized, they are only imitating the black woman. Because the black woman is the queen mother of civilization.
Yes.
All civilization imitates her. So when we have Sister Anna Kareem, she says everywhere the white man has gone, he has corrupted the moral standards of the people, especially their women. Investigate the reports of the increasing of prostitution among the women of Thailand and South Vietnam since the coming of white American troops to these countries. That's the teachings of the messenger. Because the messenger told us to get to the root of the cause. He always told us the root. Now, when the messenger did tell us to accept responsibility, that's when we accepted his teachings.
Yes.
Once we have a knowledge of ourselves, we can't blame the white man no more.
Right.
So once you become a Muslim, you can't blame the white man for nothing you do no more. Praise due to Allah. We know the white man is a snake. We know the white man is wicked and evil by nature. We know the white man is going to give us hell until they destroy it. But once we have a knowledge of ourselves, we can fight for what's right. No matter how hard it might be, we have the option to fight for what's right.
That's right.
But when you are deaf, dumb, and blind, our brothers and sisters don't have the knowledge to fight for what is right. They believe what they doing is right. So Sister Anna Kareem goes on. She says, look at the black woman here in America. She has gone through slavery and miscegenation, voluntary and involuntary, and has assimilated the ways and conduct of the white man's woman. The black woman has patterned her conduct after the white woman, who has never obeyed laws of a civilized society. Pray due to Allah. So once we gain the knowledge of ourselves, we can blame what the lost found black brothers and sisters do on the white man.
Right.
Because the messenger taught us that Allah came to North America to save the black man. He said that Allah did not come to save one white person, young or old. Not one. But this hypocrite in the new school nation of Islam, we make the black man think that it is some good white people. It's white people who do good. The messenger taught us that all manner of evil originates with the white race.
That's right.
And I'm telling you, once you begin to read the teachings of the messenger, it's hard to finally grasp that all evil and lying and murder and deceit comes from the white race. Because you see the black man imitating the white man so well.
Yes.
You grew up all your life seeing black people hurt black people, seeing black people kill each other, seeing black people hate each other. Sometimes you see white people doing better to a black person than a white person, than a black person. But the messenger taught us. He said that the white woman has been trained for this day. She been trained for this day to deceive the black man. The messenger taught us that the white woman is a harlot. She is the delight. She deceives strong man sex.
Yes.
So the messenger taught us that that's the white woman. She deceives the black man and the black woman. She makes the black man think. Because on Facebook, I have a lot of arguments with these Kevin Samuels kind of brothers. Because that's another thing that I hate about Shahrazad. She opens the door for all of this Kevin Samuels kind of stuff in the Nation of Islam. Because she is the one for years who took all of the evil and filth that the white woman practices and put it on the black woman. Because if the black woman is righteous by nature, why don't she explain the black woman's issue like Sister Anna Kareem? 95% of Anna Kareem's article, she talking about the white woman.
Yes.
She talking about the history of the white woman. She talking about how the white woman has a history of destroying the morals of entire nations of people. This is something that is not in the history of the black woman. Because when the white man found us, the black man was living in harmony with himself. I remember one time I was listening to it on an AM station. This devil was talking about when the white man first came to the Caribbean. He was talking about how the black man in the Caribbean used to be just walking everywhere he goes. He used to eat from the trees. So he said that when they got there, the people was pretty fit. They was pretty healthy and in shape. But he said after decades of the white man being there, you got a lot of people who got high blood pressure, people who got cancer, diabetes, just from practicing the white man's culture.
Yes.
Just by practicing the white man's way of eating. You begin the same people living in the same country, doing the same things with the same fruits, but because you practice the white man's way of life, now you getting diabetes. And now you believe that having diabetes and high blood pressure, that's just the normal way of life. That's how the messenger taught us about getting to the root of the problem. The messenger taught us that the white race is the root of the problem.
Yes.
The messenger taught us the white man was made to be destroyed. He said that Yaqub grafted the white race to rule us for 6,000 years. He said after that 6,000 year time is up, he said the white race will be destroyed.
Praise be to Allah.
Praise due to Allah. I read an article of the messenger. He said the white man's time was up in 1914. He said that in 1914 the scientists wanted to destroy the white man right then. But the messenger said, Master Farad Muhammad is the one who said no. He is the one who given us extra time. Because the messenger said if they would destroy the white man in 1914, they would have had to destroy us right along with it. Right. So the messenger said that the white race gets an extension of time. He also said, in this extension of time, the white man is given also an extension of time to try to show that he ain't wicked and evil by nature. Because the messenger said that Allah is merciful. Yes. He said he will not take one day away from the white man. The messenger said the white man is free to try to deceive all that he can. But he said when the deal goes down, everybody's going to know that the white race is a race of devils who are wicked and evil by nature. Because when you read in the Bible about the Israelites history is nothing but chance after chance after chance after chance. God gave the white man a chance. Because I always got to talk about these Israelites. God gave the white man a chance. Yes. Even though the white man is wicked and evil by nature. God gave him a chance. So God raised up Moses for the white man to give him a chance. Put him on a road to civilization. Teach him the knowledge of how to do right. Teach him how to groom himself. But the messenger said that the white man didn't accept one prophet. Messenger said it's not even in the nature of the white man to accept Allah, nor believe. But he said they can be believers by faith. But their nature goes against the belief in Allah. But the messenger said Allah still sent them prophets. Still sent them guides. But every time Allah sent them a guide, they rejected. They murdered. And this went on for thousands of years. So the messenger taught us that Jesus is the last prophet sent to the white race. Yes. That's it for them. Jesus was the last prophet or the last chance for the white race. So when Jesus came, the white race murdered Jesus. They chased Jesus. They persecuted Jesus. So then Prophet Muhammad came on the scene. So now today, you have all of these people, these black Hebrew Israelites who reject Islam. They reject Prophet Muhammad. They say Prophet Muhammad was not a prophet. So the Holy Quran asked them a question. It says, what about all the other prophets? We sent you prophets from among yourself, and you still rejected them. They sent you Moses. They sent you Jesus. And they sent the white race prophets in between them both. And they rejected them all. So there's no wonder that you reject Prophet Muhammad. Because the messenger told us that all the prophets came with Islam. Because every prophet was a Muslim. But he said that the Bible is careful in not to mention in the religion of the prophets. Because every prophet, the messenger said, God's religion has always been Islam. Yes. He said the nature of the black man is to submit to the will of Allah. So he told us that every black man, woman, and child is a Muslim by nature. That's right. So he told us when God comes back, God comes to save the righteous. Yes. God don't come to teach the white. The messenger said, when the executors come, he said they don't come to teach you nothing. All the teaching is over with. The messenger said, I am the last. That's right. I'm the last one to come teach you. After me comes God and the executors. So that's why we, the believers in the messenger, we blame the white man. We let the black man know you have a chance.
Yes.
You have a chance to accept your own and be yourself.
That's right, brother.
The messenger said in the scriptures it says it's going to be a gnashing of teeth. That means people are going to be grinding their teeth together. That's what gnashing of teeth means. The messenger say we really going to be upset when we find out how easy it was for us to just accept Islam. All we doing is accepting our own and being ourselves. The messenger said that is the greatest teaching, or one of the greatest teachings that Master Farad Muhammad taught him, is to teach the black man to accept your own and be yourself.
Yes.
The messenger taught us our own self is a righteous Muslim.
That's right.
And that's what we supposed to tell the black man. Messages say we not supposed to harp on the evil that the black man do.
Right.
We supposed to tell the black man about his great past, his great future, what his nature is.
Yeah.
Message say we already know about our evil. So we focus on the greatness of the black man. To tell the black man that God has come to save you.
Yes.
And God has come to destroy the devil.
Yes.
The whole white race. Messenger taught us that in the hereafter, he said it's going to be some white people who are going to believe. And he said that there are going to be some white people in the hereafter. But he said they are not going to be in the same hereafter as us. He said after 1,000 years, there won't be no more white people on the earth. He said they only gonna last 1,000 years. So the messenger said that Master Farad Muhammad, God in person, is going to make a new heaven and a new earth. He said he gonna make us new. The messenger said that Master Farad Muhammad is going to take out of us that brown germ which causes us to sin. Messenger said it won't be no medicine in the hereafter. We won't get sick. None of that in the hereafter. Nothing but happiness. Messenger said it's worth it. If we knew what we had, what Allah had in store for us, we would understand all of this hell we catching is worth it.
Yes.
Because one day they're going to be reading about us like we read about Moses. They're going to be talking about all the believers and how hard they held on for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's teachings. And it's good for us to know that we can die a believer. Die as a believer in the teachings of the message. Because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is our prime example. Messenger taught us that God came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, July 4th, 1930. He said he came to Black Bottom, Detroit. The messenger said that one day, Master Farad Muhammad knocked on his door and he let him in. The messenger talked about how slow the process was. He said him and Master Farad Muhammad would go door to door, knocking on people's door, trying to get them to accept Islam. He said that was a very slow process. But he said, look at you now. Because if you think about the messenger, if you think we got it hard, think about how hard it was for him. Because when the messenger was around, the black man really for the first time heard that the black man is the original man. That sounds crazy to a black man in the 30s. Somebody telling you that the black man is the original man. When we used to believe in that Adam was the first man. We used to believe in that Adam was a white man. We used to believe in that God is a white man. Then you have a black man telling you that you are the original man, the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, and the God of the universe.
Yes, sir.
That's strange to a black man.
Right.
in 1930. Because the messenger didn't just say you the God of a country. He didn't just say you the God of the earth. He said you the God of the universe.
That's right.
Because I know one time in my student enrollment, in actual facts, I just went down and just started looking up the words. Because after you memorize them and it come familiar to you, still really don't get a full understanding until you actually just look up the words and see what they really mean. See what planet Earth really means. See what universe really mean and what it entails. When you start talking about the solar system, when you start talking about all the different planets, all the different stars, then they start talking about dark matter. The universe so big, it's certain sections of the universe that don't get light. So they say they have in the universe what is called dark matter. They say they can't see dark matter. But they say the only reason why they know it's there by the stuff that the dark matter sucks into its orbit or whatever. But dark matter is a power. They talk about how much power this dark matter has. It's just black matter. That's just so dark and so black that it has power. That's what the messenger taught us about the black man. The black man taught, the messenger told us that God created himself in the triple darkness of the universe.
That's right.
Now back in 1930, we don't know what that is. When the messenger says triple darkness,
Yeah.
that just sounds, but when you actually look this stuff up, look up black matter. Then go back to theology of time where the messenger talks about triple darkness. Because he said God created himself in the triple darkness of the universe. Because the messenger said that God is the first Muslim. Because God is a Muslim. The black man, because in this new school stuff, we be tripping over the word God and Muslim. Acting like you can't be God and Muslim at the same. God is a Muslim. The messenger said God is the first Muslim. The black man's nature is Islam. Because even though you say you God, or we are God, you got other black people that you got to have order with too. They got to have some type of order. So even with the scientists, they got to submit. Because just like the messenger talked about Shabbats didn't agree with the others. So they telling you, since you can't agree, you go over there and you make your man over there. They got to have some kind of order. What do to Allah? You always got to submit. Even in a relationship with your wife. The messenger says the husband has the final say. But you still got to listen to your wife. You still got to listen to what she, and maybe sometime what she say might be a better idea than yours.
Yes.
That's hard to admit sometimes, but it's true. Sometimes they ideas and stuff you wouldn't like, why? But like any man, we don't like to admit it all at first. So we, as men, still have to in some way submit.
Yeah.
Like that was a good idea.
Right.
That idea was better than my idea.
That's right.
Because we still being the God. You still have to submit. Just like Master Farad Muhammad. The white man had 6,000 years to rule. That was already in the makings before 1877.
Right.
So when Master Farad Muhammad was on the scene, he still got to submit to that.
Right.
Yaqub's devil got 6,000 years to rule.
Right.
But he's the all-wise, true and living God.
Good teacher.
The messenger said one of his attributes is mercy.
Yes.
The most merciful. God even shows mercy to the deaf.
Yes.
God not even gonna take one day away from the devil. Because the messenger said in 1914, the other scientists wanted to destroy the devil. Master Farad Muhammad being most merciful, He knew that if he destroyed the devil, he would have to destroy us. So Master Farad Muhammad, and then if we go on even further than that, the messenger says that the extension of time never exceeds, I believe he said, 80 years. Do the math. 1914, 80 years from now, it'll be 1994. It's 2023. We still ain't seen the destruction of the white man. That shows the love that Master Farad Muhammad has for us.
That's right.
He's still giving us time. Giving us time to get ourselves together. Because the messenger says he talked about that wheel. I saw on the news, I think it was CNBC, they see the wheel. Me being in the military and seeing how that devil described the wheel, they saw the wheel. This devil said, now I've been in the military. I remember one time these devils got planes so fast. We would be out in the middle of the ocean. They would be testing out the speed of these planes. Them planes would be going so fast that when they pass the ship, you don't hear a sound. Because the sound don't catch up to it until like 5 seconds later. So the plane fly past you and you see 3 planes. You see them fly past, but you don't hear nothing at all. Then 5 seconds later, you hear boom, 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 because they breaking the sound barrier.
Wow.
That's how fast them planes go. Then sometime one ago, then you will see that in a boom, breaking the sound barrier. This devil who saw the wheel, he said that the wheel can sit still in the air with speeds more than 130 miles an hour. He said that the wheel can just sit there and don't move at all. He said we don't have the kind of technology to do that. He talked about how fast the wheel can go. And he on CNBC saying we don't have nothing that can go that fast. Then I saw the devil talk about how the wheel can go so fast and then go change directions. That devil said if you was to try to do that in one of our planes, you would blow your head up. Because they have to slowly make turns. I was in the middle. I understand a little bit about that. You can't just make no sudden turn. You have to slowly turn. Slowly glide. But he said that the wheel can be going as fast, however fast he said it was going. Then it could just start going straight up in the air. He said we don't have that kind of technology. But the messenger said, it's a dreadful wheel.
Yes.
He said that the wheel was made to destroy America.
That's right.
The messenger said, I believe it's 1,500 baby planes. The messenger said that each pilot got one bomb. He said none of the bombs is going to hit water. He said every bomb is going to hit land. He said every bomb that hits land can explode and destroy everything in a 50-mile radius.
Yes, sir.
The messenger said each pilot can hit his target blindfold. That's what the messenger said.
Yes, he did.
The messenger said, oh, don't pray for that day. He said many of you be lagging behind with a fearful and a doubtful mind.
Yes, sir.
That's the message. So that's why we blame the white man.
Yes.
Because the white man is in for total destruction. And once you look at his world today, the white man is already in the grave. They just ain't put the dirt on top of the dead. Because when you look at their civilization, they don't have nothing else to improve civilization at all. So I was watching on TV. They talking about with this transgender stuff. They don't even want to teach little girls about their menstrual cycle. They don't even want to start using pronouns talking about he and her and him and that. This is the white man. The white man has totally opened the door to all of the filth and indecency that the black man could ever dream of.
Yeah.
And this is why the messenger said that if the white man hated to see us look at his wife, hated to see us drink out his water fountain, wouldn't even bury us in a cemetery next to them, then all of a sudden, they open the door to their houses to you. They allowing you to marry their daughter. They making you believe that a white woman is better for the black man than a black woman. That's the messenger taught us this is the end. He said the last trick of the white man would be his woman.
That's what he said.
The white man is using his woman to lead as many people to hell with them. But the messenger says, the good end is for those of us who hold to Islam. And that's why I like talking about this hypocrite Lewis. Because I always get a lot of flack for talking about this hypocrite. Everybody always say, well, why don't you, or how come you can't do the works that this hypocrite do? Now let's think about that, because I'm getting sick of people telling me that. Let's be realistic. This hypocrite met the messenger. This hypocrite sat at the table of the messenger. The messenger made this hypocrite world renowned.
Yes.
When the messenger died, this hypocrite was on top as the national representative of the message. Black people was used to listening to this. How we gonna compete with that? I don't even try to compete. I just like talking about this hypocrite.
Yes, sir.
I like the thought of when we die, it's gonna be some believers in the future that's gonna read our history.
That's right.
Pray due to Allah. They gonna see it was a big hypocrite named Louis Farrakhan. Like we read about Cor, like we read about Absalom. They gonna be reading about this hypocrite Louis Farrakhan.
Right.
They gonna say, look how big he was. Most of them followers who was holding on didn't even never see the message. Wasn't even never in a fully functioning temple, but they still held the line.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir.
That's what makes me happy
Yes, sir.
to talk about this hypocrite Louis Farrakhan, because he is the chief hypocrite.
He is.
We didn't live to see Malcolm. We didn't live in the hypocrisy of Malcolm. But the messenger told us, he said, you ain't through with him. He said the next hypocrite is going to make Malcolm's work look like child's play.
That's exactly what he said.
So he told her, don't you get jealous or upset. You got a hypocrite coming up through the ranks for you too. And that hypocrite going to give you what Malcolm gave and much more.
Right?
He said, make Malcolm's work look like child's play. Let's talk about this hypocrite for a minute while we wrap it up. This comes from the March 23rd, 1973, Muhammad Speaks. Because we want to talk about how this hypocrite makes Malcolm's work look like child's play. This was Minister Yusuf Shah going to a university teaching on how the white woman is a dog, how the dog is her boyfriend, teaching on Yaqub, teaching on all the mathematics of the message. The Nation of Islam, during the time of the message, was the top dog in black consciousness. Islam meant black consciousness. When you read them books that people write about the history, Muslim and Islam meant black consciousness. The messenger's teachings, they used to request the messenger's teachings that he was teaching in the Pittsburgh Carrier in the 50s, still in the 70s. When the messenger stopped writing for the Pittsburgh Carrier and all them articles, many of them editors came to the Muhammad Speaks on the anniversary and said when the messenger told them that he was coming up with his own paper, she said she cried. She said she hated to see Mr. Muhammad come up with his own paper. She said we still get requests for his articles that he was writing in the 50s and it was 1974. That was the message. But now we with this hypocrite, Louis Farrakhan. And the Nation of Islam has become a laughing stock. The Nation of Islam it be people who YouTubers. They don't even have no followers. They calling the messenger Elijah Poole. When the messenger was alive, it was dangerous to speak against the messenger. Let's just talk history. It was dangerous to disrespect the messenger. And that's why I tell people, we need to read the Muhammad Speaks newspaper.
Yes.
Because when the messenger used to talk against them Afrocentrics, just to wrap it up, I'm going to bring the video next week. Louis Farrakhan was being interviewed by this brother from Jamaica. This brother from Jamaica was getting in Farrakhan's case because he was playing back a video or a lecture that Farrakhan gave in the 70s talking against this Afrocentric stuff. So he said, why would you say stuff against our African brothers like that? Why would you totally disrespect them? So this hypocrite said, he said, you playing a tape that or a lecture that I gave in the 70s. He said, if I was to speak on that same subject today, he said, I wouldn't say the same thing. He said, just like as Paul said, when I was a child, I thought as a child. I spoke as a child. I understood as a child. He said, but when I became a man, I put away all my childish things. That's what this hypocrite said about the teachings of the message.
Yes, sir.
So that's why I like to talk about that hypocrite. Because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he is not here to defend himself. All he has is his few faithful followers. Well, brothers and sisters, we don't want to prolong the time. So I'll leave you as I came in the Nation of Islam's greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Enjoying the show? Help keep us on the air. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033 to make a donation.
Brothers and sisters, we rise for prayer. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Soul Master's dead judgment in which we now live. The alone do we serve, and the alone seek for thine help and aid. O Allah, please guide us on the right path, path of those upon whom thou spell thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after they heard thy teachings. Say he, Allah is one God. Allah is he of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is he begotten, there is none like him. And I bear witness that none is earth to be served, worship to praise besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is thy true servant and last apostle. Ameen. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us not to do anything to anyone that we wouldn't have done it to ourselves and treat everybody right, even the devil. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.